Namaste, Namaskar, Vanakkam. This is Shihan Hussaini. You can call me Who, Director of Who Archery Mission. Welcome to the State Level Archery Judges Workshop. This includes training, examination, and certification as an archery judge in the state level. After accreditation, the top judges will be sent for further training, exams, and accreditation at the national level, continental level, and then international level. At the international level, we will have two stages: the International Judge Candidate IJC and the International Judge IJ. I thank Dr. Jorit, Chairman of the Judges Committee, for guiding me in these lessons, which will prepare you to be a state archery judge. If an archery competition is conducted without proper technical officials, which includes judges, chief judge, director of shooting, and competition director, then it cannot be recognized as an official competition. So it's very important that states develop the body and bank of technical officials so that more competitions can be conducted at the club, district, and state level. Who Archery Mission, the Hindustan Ultimate Archery Mission, with its declared mantra of Om, 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 which also denotes Olympic medal, nothing but an Olympic medal, has the big mission of making Hindustan the epicenter of archery activity and amassing supremacy as a country with a load of Olympic medals. If this has to become a reality, our archers need to get lots and lots of competition practice. For any state to conduct several competitions, we need to increase our pool of archery judges. An increase also needs to be a calibrated one with quality judges who are well versed in the rules of the game as well as experience in case studies. So it's imperative to be very careful in selecting not only the best of the best candidates as judges. Knowledge plus experience both become very important for wisdom to emerge, and wisdom is the hallmark of a judge. Here is a great opportunity for you to become a highly respected judge that people will look forward to in giving judgment on several issues that will affect the outcome of archery competitions. While it takes decades of education and practice to be a judge in law and order and jurisprudence, for an individual like you to become an archery judge is, in a matter of weeks, must be logical and responsible. For that, deep study and hard work in equipping oneself is very important. An archery judge needs to have the following qualities. 1. Judicial temperament, which includes patience, open-mindedness, courtesy, tact, courage, punctuality, firmness, understanding, compassion, humility, and common sense. This character trait of judicial temperament encompasses both the ability to apply the law to the facts and to understand how a judicial decision will affect archers and result in a competition. It is the ability to communicate with archers, coaches, fellow judges, scorers, and other technical officials and other parties calmly and courteously, as well as the willingness to listen to and consider what is said on all sides of a debatable proposition. An archery judge should be able to exercise forbearance under provocation, to deal with archers and coaches with sensitivity and without giving offense, and to assimilate data outside one's experience without bias and without undue difficulty or stress. A judge trainee should be able to handle personal stress without unloading on others. He or she should recognize that the position is not only stressful but an official position of public trust with the business of judging conducted largely in full view. And that criticism and scrutiny are inherent in that position. Candidates fearful or uncertain about these aspects of the archery judge's job should reconsider becoming one. The second most important quality of an archery judge must be intelligence. This is the ability to know and apply world rules, analyze and procedures to different circumstances, and the ability to quickly perceive, comprehend and understand new concepts, situations, cases and ideas. Well, 3. Ethics. There should be no doubt about a judge's personal or professional ethics. As a future archery judge, A candidate should have maintained a standard of conduct above the minimum standard set. A candidate should be aware of and abide by the ethical principles enunciated in the code as guidance in specific situations. An archery judge candidate should have demonstrated a personal standard of ethical conduct that stands out among both the general citizenry and the archery fraternity at large. 4. Courage and integrity. Legal courage is the willingness to do what the World Archery Rule requires the judge to do, even though the judge must follow is not the popular one. Integrity is not being influenced by the identity, race, gender, political status, wealth, or relationship of the archers before the judge. More basically, it is not doing what the judge knows to be wrong. An archery judge applicant should possess both courage and integrity. Next is experience and education. Prior professional activities of an archer or an archery coach teaching archers and reading rules, watching matches, accompanying kid archers to matches are very important. The type and amount of experience necessary varies depending on the level of the judge. The next attribute of an archery judge is suitability to workload. A future archery judge should demonstrate his or her compatibility with the workload of the job. One must understand that the job involves standing from morning to evening in the field, sometimes without a break, and continuously be on the lookout for archers breaking rules. The director of shooting is mostly stuck to his or her post for over a week from dawn to dusk. It can be very trying and test one's patience and endurance. So the next attribute, continuing education and updates. An archery judge's history of attendance at continuing education programs, workshops, refresher programs is considered as a good indicator or a person's interest in remaining updated about rules and regulations of archery. This factor is perhaps the best indicator of whether an archery judge will be motivated to improve his or her knowledge, willing to continue with his or her knowledge of rules and study of cases, and be open to new ideas, evolving attitudes, developments, and changes in world archery rules. The next is the ability to communicate. This is the ability to express oneself clearly, concisely, and grammatically, whether orally or in writing. It includes the ability to listen. All archery judges must have strong oral and written skills. When there is an explanation sought by the chief judge, competition director of a jury, one must have the ability to orally express as well as write reports briefly, concisely, and accurately. Next attribute, health. An archery judge should be in sufficient physical and mental health to perform the duties of the post such that he or she will be able to render vigorous and effective service for the foreseeable future. A prior history of stress-induced illness, migraine headaches, chronic fatigue syndrome, or poor attendance in the present job should be warning flags, and as a candidate having such a background should normally not opt to be an archery judge, as the ability to tolerate conflict, pressure, and stress are essential. The next, character. The most important overall quality, a key, is the applicant should be of the best character. He or she should have a positive reputation in the archery fraternity. His or her background should be free of references to immorality or indiscretions. He or she should be free of a history of substance abuse or substance dependence and free of indications of domestic violence, publicly unacceptable conduct, and the like. Judge candidates should be financially stable so that they can't be influenced in any way. Having said what the attributes of an archery judge must be, let me tell you that as a future archery judge, you need to be aware that there are 6 books of rules that World Archery, the supreme body of archery, has published. Book 1 deals with constitution and procedures. Book 2 deals with events. Book 3 deals with target archery. Book 4 deals with field archery and 3D archery. Book 5 deals with miscellaneous archery rounds and ski archery. And finally, book 6 deals with anti-doping rules. As a judge of target archery, you need to be conversant with book 2 and 3. That is, you need to know about events and target archery. We will be in the next few lectures going about these in detail. However, let me tell you briefly and quickly what book 1, 4, 5 and 6 deals with. Book 1, which deals with Constitution and Procedures, has 2 chapters. Chapter 1 deals with Constitution and Article 1, which are 35 clauses. Chapter 2 deals with Eligibility Code for Athletes and Team Officials, with Article 2 having 5 clauses. There are 9 appendixes. Appendix 1 is on Congress procedures with 6 articles. Appendix 2 is on Code and Ethics and Conduct and also has 6 articles. Appendix 3 is on Procedure for the Board of Justice and Ethics with 5 articles. Appendix 4 deals with Organization and Procedures for the Judges Committee with 18 articles. Appendix 5 deals with Guidelines for World Archery Practice with 1 article. Appendix 6 deals with Olympic Charter with 13 articles. Appendix 7 deals with World Archery Fanfare with 1 article. Appendix 8 deals with Athletes Committee Election Procedure and has 3 articles. And finally, Appendix 9 deals with Betting and Anti-Corruption and has 13 articles. We will skip book 2 and 3 as for now, as these 2 books will be discussed extensively and in detail in our workshop. Book 4 is on Field and 3D Archery. There are 10 chapters. Chapter 22 on Athlete Equipment, Chapter 23 on Shooting, Chapter 24 on General Order of Shooting and Timing Control in Field and 3D Rounds, Chapter 25 on Scoring, Chapter 26 on Shooting Control and Safety, Chapter 27 on Consequences of Breaking Rules, Chapter 28 on Practice, 29 on Questions and Disputes, Chapter 30 on Appeals, and finally, Chapter 31 on Dress Regulations. Let's take a look at Book 5. The Book 5 is about miscellaneous archery rounds and ski archery. There are 2 chapters. Chapter 32 deals with miscellaneous rounds and has 10 clauses. Chapter 33 deals with ski archery and has 32 subclauses. There are 2 appendixes. Appendix 1 deals with material catalog and Appendix 2 deals with tasks and responsibilities of ski archery international judges. The 6th and last book by World Archery is all about anti-doping rules. There are 22 clauses and an additional 4 articles. Well, dear future archery judges, let me quickly revise what I had dealt with in the first session, my first lecture. We first talked about the attributes and qualities of a world archery judge. This is going to be a long and arduous educational journey, I must say. The takeaway for now will be 10 qualities of an archery judge and 6 books of rules of world archery. Let me drill it into your head again. The 10 qualities of an archery judge are: 1. Judicial temperament, 2. Intelligence, 3. Ethics, 4. Courage and integrity, 5. Experience and education, 6. Suitability to workload, 7. Continuing education and updates, 8. Ability to communicate, 9. Health, and 10. Character. We then told you that there are 6 books by World Archery for judges. Book 1 deals with Constitution and Procedures. Book 2 deals with events. Book 3 deals with target archery. Book 4 deals with field archery and 3D archery. Book 5 deals with miscellaneous archery rounds and ski archery. And finally, Book 6 deals with anti-doping rules. Well, welcome to the world of rules and regulations. Welcome to the world of ethics and discipline. Welcome to the world of integrity and character. Welcome to the world of becoming an archery judge. So much for this session. Catch you in the next session. Till then, it's a bye-bye from me. Cool.